Well, I guess it's time to show you the good stuff. Welcome to We Like Korvairs in Kansas.
Hey, did you do it in here?
Nope, I'm doing it right now.
Oh, good. That way you won't...
Porsche fan with a handmade, homemade fiberglass fan shroud. No more flipped fan belts. This motor's got a bad crank gear. 4Z Inc. Clearwater, Kansas. Sand buggy. 2686cc Corvair. Look at that. Weber triple barrel. Beautiful. Weather pack. Moroso. Pretty fancy. No more Korvair for this guy. He went to Subaru. Flat 6. Ready for the good stuff.
No, even though the roof is metal?
Yeah.
I mean, it's heavy. It crushed the whole place, but this is... You probably don't get snow and stick your toe to six the roof out there, do you?
Not for very long.
Probably blow it off in the wind. And
Yeah, I mean we don't get like 2 or 3 inches at a time.
Oh.
And
Texas
it's gone for the
dust
next
pans.
time, so.
out that way, we get sometimes, probably don't like we used to, but you get a couple feet of snow and rain on the top, then you're good. That's
Yeah.
heavy. Rain and mixing the snow.
Oh yeah, and the rain freezes.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a Cord 810.
That's a little beetle bug, too.
I've been looking at one right now.
Yeah.
Never seen one. Always knew they existed. Never
There's
seen a Cord
There's a guy
810.
in Fresno with a yard full of Volkswagens. I mean a yard full of them. If you need a Volkswagen pot. Oh, I didn't get his name, but...
Cord 810. Never seen one. Missed them at the shows over the years. It's a 140 with the Powerglide all-mounted reverse.
No.
Well,
Just move forward.
It's just moved forward, exactly.
Yeah.
So the transmission, instead of being at the back in the front, is now in the front in the front. Now they made these where Glenn Prey made these, I
Yeah.
think?
Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
Broken
Tulsa.
Arrow, Oklahoma, near Tulsa.
When I was 15, my dad and I went down and we saw them making the prototypes.
Really? So your dad was into Korvairs?
A little bit, yeah. He had a Greenbrier.
Oh.
I mean, I had ramp side, so.
So now, you didn't obviously buy the prototype when you were 15 years old.
No.
Let me see the motor.
I've actually had this for a year or two. So.
Oh, you just bought it?
Yeah.
Because I've always known these existed, even 30 years ago when I first got
I've
into
been kind of
Korvairs.
looking for one, but most of them like way back east and expensive and needed work.
So is it a proprietary frame? It's just a steel frame, welded?
It's a big channel frame, about 6 inches deep. I had a sticking valve and broke a push rod on that side, and you can see the problem with changing the push rods out.
Yeah, there's a frame in the way.
You're right. And there's torsion bars underneath the motor.
So, oh, I see them. Like Chevy uses, well, that's the exhaust pipe that crosses over.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, the crossover runs just the way on a Corvair. Someone's made a beautiful MIG welded exhaust crossover.
That's gas welded.
Oh,
I
gas
did all
welded?
that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Now I see it. Very nicely
Originally
done.
it had a center mount 4-barrel on it when I got it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went to put the carbs back on it,
Mm-hmm.
the exhaust, used to run the exhaust out through there at one point in time, long time ago. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the exhaust was up all on the top half of the engine,
Mm-hmm.
which is not good.
Well,
air
Fords
flow.
did that many
And
years
so,
in the
and
50s.
and the one exhaust pipe prevented me putting the primary on that side. So I ended up having to redo all the exhaust.
So you went down, you got rid of the side exhaust, which
Yeah.
would have been what
And
they
you
had.
can't go through the normal crossover area because that's where the cross steer shaft goes. That's where the suspension goes.
So it's got, oh, there's the torsion bars. Now I see them.
Yeah.
Like Chevy uses on the four-wheel drive trucks in the
Yeah.
90s.
So these are actually Valiant
Valiant what?
torsion bars.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh, like a
Chrysler
regular
used torsion bars as well, of course, through the 60s
Yeah.
and into the early 70s. So you made an entire new exhaust system from nothing except a thought and a dream and a prayer and a hope. there's the torsion bars. I see. So it's got this huge truck style frame, 6-inch. Is
Yeah.
it C-channel or box?
It's a C-channel.
C-channel.
Yeah, the frame weighs more than the body.
How many of these 810s did they build? Tell us the history
97.
briefly. 97. The whole production run.
Right.
From the experimental that you saw when you were
Yeah,
15,
Yeah, yeah.
right to the end. 97. Cord, front wheel drive. Give these numbers when writing or ordering parts manufactured by Cord Automobile, Tulsa, Oklahoma. So is there a connection to these Cord 810s and the original ones?
Yeah, this is a Cord.
But it's 8/10th scale. It's,
No, it's a 1966 Cord, and they have to be this size in 1966.
but when they were in the 30, 33, 34,
yeah.
when Everett Loban Cord built them, and I went to that museum where
Yeah.
the factory used to be and the offices in the back, I went there.
But this is still made by the Cord Motor Company. Glenn Prey
Mm-hmm.
bought all the spare parts and the name Cord, the name Auburn, and the
Which
name
was extinct in
Duesenberg
36,
back
37,
in
38.
1960.
So they've been under production for 20-something years.
Yeah, but then
approximately.
the guy had the rights to the parts and stuff. They had used to do that.
Because they used to repair them in those shops
Yeah.
in Indiana. I was there. And the
Yeah.
shop is still there. And
then so he bought it, and he decided to make this.
because he used to repair these cars, and they were
Yeah,
getting
he
older and
restored. He
older.
was a teacher, and he restored these on the side, and he got all the parts.
And then he decided to make a smaller version of the same car,
Yeah.
cut down size.
Well, Gordon Brewing was the guy who designed the original.
Gordon
18
Buring.
Ford.
Yep.
At the time, was working for Ford in the early '60s, and said, "Well, we're working on this Mustang thing, and cars are going to be smaller." Because he wanted a front-wheel drive, and there wasn't any front-wheel drive American cars in 1960,
Correct.
61.
What type
And-
of what front suspension is this?
Citroen it was designed off of Citroen.
Citroën, of course. There's the Power Glide oil pan. Did they make any manual transmissions?
Yeah, they made a turbo manual.
I've seen the turbo one, pictures of it.
Yeah, and then all the turbos are manual unless they've been changed. Tim Mailer's has been changed to an automatic.
Mhm.
Yeah, and the shift rod went right down over to the top of the motor.
So they decided to make these smaller version of the Cords with some front-wheel drive parts.
And Gordon Brewing actually made a model like this, but since he was working for Ford Motor Company, he really couldn't show it to Glenn Prey. But somehow Glenn Prey ended up in the room with the model and a camera.
And he decided to make what Ford was thinking of making.
Yeah, but he could get in make it a smaller. The Korvair was perfect for the front-wheel drive. It had a transactional thing already.
Huh, what an interesting story. And they made these in what year? The 97?
66. The production was a 66.
And why did they stop making them?
A company basically of investors kicked Prey out, and this is an expensive car to build. This was the same as price the same as like a high-end Cadillac in 1966.
$6,000 or $7,000.
Yeah.
Wow, it's too expensive.
Dick Clark had one.
Dick Clark, the fellow who drops the ball in New York City.
Yeah.
Huh. How do you like that? So is it a 140 engine?
Yeah.
Is there any documentation of this car when it was new?
There's actually records at the factory, well, actually where the prototypes were made in a pickle factory down in Tulsa. That's where they're still selling the Cord parts out of.
Mm-hmm.
And they have pretty good documentation of what it was equipped with. This is originally an air-conditioned car.
Really? Wow. Especially they were all special ordered, presumably, with a big fat deposit.
Well, actually, a lot of the story is that some of them they just they put a kid in the car and go up to Chicago, put it on a street corner, and sell it.
Wow.
An interesting marketing.
GM door handle, your typical 65 up GM door handle. Now the seats are from what? I don't recognize.
They're custom made.
On the top, custom made, a lot of custom parts.
Yeah, steering wheel's Avante.
Oh, yeah, I recognize it now. A friend of mine. had one.
And these latches, I think, are Thunderbird or Mustang.
Yep. Speed in miles per hour. Huh. What would a car like this be worth, kind of, sort of?
Tim's trying to sell his for $27,000.
And the rear suspension is what? Is it also a Citroën? It's a
It's
tube?
just it's a beam type axle. It's Rambler hubs.
Really? Huh.
Because the 60s Ramblers had a
Bolt-on.
front spindle.
Right, exactly. I worked on one once. I didn't grease the bearings. And the
They used to do
wheels.
it- And actually the speedometer drives off this wheel.
And what are these wheels?
They are custom-made wheels for the Cord. They, were
They
an
look
option.
drilled. They look drilled. Drilled and filed. You can see.
They're actually, it's got a cast aluminum center and then a steel rim.
Because it looks like these were machined individually.
Yeah.
These aren't production made because you can tell there's some...
Little irregularities in it.
Exactly. All handmade. What an interesting car. I've never seen one. I've been to so many Corvair conventions and just never saw one. Or timing was never right, and here we are today. Torsion bars from a Chrysler. What a complicated car. Pontoon fenders. Interesting. Could you crank it up? Is it running?
It's set for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I may have to prime it a little bit because I got the electric fuel pump on the...
Oh, where's the fuel tank?
It's right underneath here. It's a strange triangle. If you look underneath, you see where the suspension lines, that triangle is.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah,
There's a tank.
like an X-frame on a Chevy.
Yeah, and
early
it
60s.
actually has a notch in it.
I see it. I see the fuel tank now. Triangular fuel tank. Huh.
But I can try to, if I can get enough oil pressure to get the fuel.
Oh, I've got that on my Spider.
Yeah.
Suicide doors.
Yeah.
And I have a manual button for my electric fuel pump that I've
That's
never
what I
hooked
need
up.
to do. If I
Yeah,
told you, I just-
prime the. Otherwise, it cranks and cranks and cranks and
I
cranks.
put a little gas in it here, baby.